Jennifer McKee with Monica Lindine's office. And I understand that one of the things that Ms. Lindine is promoting right now is something called crowdfunding that is actually before the Montana Legislature. What's it about?
Well, crowdfunding has become popular with new kinds of internet platforms like Kickstarter and those kinds of platforms that allow people, entrepreneurs, to raise small amounts of money from large amounts of people. And it's a great way for regular people to start a business and for regular people to invest in a business, and you don't need to have a ton of money to do either of those things. But Montana law, which is a very good law, our law around how you raise money and capitalize a business, was written before those kinds of web platforms were available, and so is written more with more traditional kinds of capitalizing business in mind. And so currently crowdfunding, as a lot of people think of it, is not allowed in Montana law. So House Bill 481, sponsored by Chuck Hunter of Helena, would allow crowdfunding with some parameters designed to protect Montana investors.
Okay. Now, I understand that bill is actually under consideration today. And so should this become law, what kind of things would we be able to do without violating Montana statute?
A Montana investor or a business startup would be able to solicit up to $1 million in capital from Montana investors without having to go through all of the channels of registering a security, which is a fancy name for sort of selling shares of something or selling parts of a business where the person who buys it doesn't get anything tangible in their hand. And without having to go through that entire channel that is currently how Montana law is structured. And the law, as I mentioned, it has worked very well to protect Montana investors and to help define how Montana entrepreneurs need to organize themselves. But in cases of this newer kind of supporting businesses, especially in their very early stages, the Montana law hasn't necessarily kept up with what's happening in other states. There are 16 other states that have considered crowdfunding legislation or already have them on the books. So we would be the 17th.
Okay.
And it's doing great, actually, in the legislature. It started in the Montana House of Representatives. It passed 19 to zip in committee, 100 to zip on the floor. Now it's in the Senate, so it's in the second half of its journey. And it's not looking like there's going to be a huge roadblock, but, I don't work in the legislature, and you just never know what's going to happen over there.
And you has to wait till it gets to the governor's desk anyway, right?
Yes, you do. It's a long process, designed to let the best idea win.
Now, has he made any indication as to whether or not he would sign it should it come to his desk?
Not that I know of, but he is, there's a lot of things that he's thinking about, and he doesn't give an indication necessarily on every last one of them.